So I've got a dynamic EQ up here. The difference between a regular EQ, which I can open for you, this is static. What that means is you're gonna boost or cut frequencies and that's it. Now, a lot of people when they're recording, they're gonna be super close to their mic. So they've got all this low end. Their mid-range is gonna have all sorts of problems because of the room they're in. And then they're gonna be boosting a ton of high end typically because of all the low end that they've got. And then they're usually cutting somewhere in the mids, but then they're getting rid of a lot of information. And what winds up happening is they've got this really hollow, artificially hyped, and kind of muddy vocal. And I used to struggle with that all the time. What I would say is get some form of dynamic EQ or multi-band compression. It's gonna do a similar thing. What you do is you pick where your problem areas are, but instead of completely cutting them out, we can just tighten up those problem areas. So I'll give you an example here. Right around the 250 range, I was experiencing some mud in the vocal here.
Didn't understand why God let all that pain and loss, sleepless nights and regrets.
Now that's with it in. I'm gonna bypass it.
Didn't understand why God let all that pain and loss, sleepless nights and regrets.
The pain is really, really loud. And there's some low end, mud that I'm not liking in the 250 range. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna solo that for you.
Didn't understand why God let all that pain and loss, sleepless nights.
Okay, and if you look, I've set a threshold and it's gonna dip down. Now without it,
didn't understand why God let all that pain and loss, sleepless nights and regrets.
And now with it in.
Didn't understand why God let all that pain and loss, sleepless nights and regrets.
Okay, there's this nice consistent mid that's now happening, and it's only acting when necessary rather than just remaining static. We're also gonna go to around the 1K range. I'm gonna solo that for you.
Didn't understand why God let all that pain and loss.
Bypass it.
Didn't understand why God let all that pain and loss, sleepless nights and regrets.
So there was just too much of that kind of nasally sound, and I wanted to smooth it out, and so I set a threshold here. There's everything.
Didn't understand why God let all that pain and loss, sleepless nights and regrets.
I encourage you to try out a dynamic EQ in the mid-range or the low mids, and it's gonna help smooth things out without sounding hollow. So give that a try, let me know what you think.